The film begins by showing a pretty young lady named Lauren Monroe. She's a prominent lawyer known for her honesty. She is offered $1 million to defend a criminal, but declines, citing her conscience.
It's time we talk plea deal.
We did. I turned it down.
Lauren prioritizes justice over monetary gain. We then meet her younger brother, William Monroe, an ambitious politician aiming to become the mayor of New York City. Meanwhile, their father, Archer Monroe, a wealthy businessman, struggles with breathing issues. He manages to get into his car, but tragically dies on the way home. Lauren is at a press conference when a reporter breaks the news to her, leaving her shocked.
We're just now getting in word about your father's accident.
In the following scene, Lauren, William, their mother Catherine, Lauren's husband Scott, and their daughter Claire are at the funeral. Afterward, Lauren and William talk, with William mentioning their father's pride in her.
Hey, Dad was proud of you.
They also discuss moving their mother closer to them. Later, Lauren visits her father's office and recalls him comparing chess to life. A week later, the Monroe family attorney, Harold, reads Archer's will. Catherine is named CEO of the company. William receives $20 million, while Lauren gets only $1 million. The remaining $50 million is donated to various charities and schools. After the announcement, Harold gives Lauren a package from her father. Inside, she finds a pen drive and keys. She watches the video on the pen drive, where her father tells her to keep a secret forever and apologizes for not revealing it while alive. Shocked, Lauren goes into the woods and finds a locked surface. Using the key, she unlocks stairs leading to a basement. Summoning her courage, she descends into the dark bunker. Inside, she discovers an old man bound. She checks on him, but he suddenly moves, causing her to flee in terror. Lauren returns home and considers calling 911 for help, but her brother interrupts. He expresses remorse over the money distribution and offers to share his portion with her. Lauren declines, stating that money isn't important to her. Later that night, Scott checks on her, and she assures him she's fine, but says she needs some time alone. She sends him and Claire away. Looking at a childhood photo with her father, she recalls an argument with him. Archer had asked her to defend their wealthy friends in court, but she refused because she doesn't defend criminals. The next morning, Lauren returns to the bunker, armed with a gun. She finds the man sleeping and quickly takes his fingerprints to identify him. He wakes up, causing her to flee. Later, she returns wearing a mask and interrogates him. However, he knows intimate details about her, including her birthday, her brother's name, and her marriage against her father's wishes.
Show me your face. Lauren Elizabeth Monroe.
Convinced, she removes her mask and asks for his identity again. The man claims to feel like family after being held captive for so long. He asks if she's a good person, and when she says yes, urges her to release him, insisting that's what a good person would do. Lauren suspects he did something to deserve his imprisonment. She tries to uncover the truth, but he demands a steak, potatoes, Caesar salad, Goldwater cigarettes, and a 30-year-old bottle of scotch, also requesting a shave. Lauren threatens to leave him, but he counters that her conscience won't let her. Knowing he has leverage, she agrees to his demands and gives him a razor before leaving. Back home, Lauren sends the fingerprints to her detective friend Emilio, asking him to gather information urgently. Afterward, Lauren buys everything Morgan requested and returns to the bunker. Overwhelmed with emotion, he enjoys the food, tearing up as he eats. She also gives him a chocolate bar, which makes him emotional. Morgan tells her that her father used to bring him chocolate once a year, giving him only one piece and leaving the rest to taunt him. After eating, he introduces himself as Morgan Warner and shares his story. He explains that he met Archer 30 years ago and they bonded over their shared interests, gambling, ego, and women. They became business partners, and one night after drinking, Archer hit and killed a pedestrian while driving.
I'll never forget that sound.
Morgan wanted to call the police, but Archer insisted that without a body, there was no crime. Archer buried the body, and when Morgan protested, Archer attacked him and imprisoned him in the bunker, fearing Morgan would report him. Morgan also reveals that Archer had an affair with a woman named Sophia, whom he called his Gypsy Rose. Lauren is skeptical, so Morgan gives her Sophia's address and tells her to ask Harold, who has records of everything. Lauren struggles to process everything, but manages to stay calm. She contacts Emilio, asking him to look into Morgan Warner. Afterward, she visits the address Morgan gave her to meet Sophia. During their conversation, Lauren learns that Sophia met her father in a poker game. She notices a boy's photograph and asks about it. Sophia reveals that the boy, Alex, is her son and Lauren's half-brother. Overwhelmed, Lauren leaves in tears. She then confronts Harold, angry that he kept such a significant secret from the family.
Every family gathering, you lied to our faces, to my mom's face.
Harold defends himself, saying it was his duty to keep the information private. He assures her there's nothing else that could harm her, but admits he'll keep any remaining secrets hidden. Later, Lauren visits her mother, who is busy with William's election campaign. She asks if Catherine knows Morgan Warner, but Catherine doesn't recognize the name. William arrives, looking tense, and mentions he's losing in some polls. He asks Lauren to attend the rally because of her reputation for honesty. That night, Lauren returns to the bunker to gather more information. She asks Morgan about the location of the pedestrian's body her father buried. Morgan proposes a deal. If he shows her the location, she must release him. Reluctantly, Lauren agrees and leads him outside. Morgan is deeply emotional, experiencing the outside world for the first time in 3 decades. Just then, Lauren receives a call from her husband Scott, asking where she's been. Lauren apologizes and hangs up, promising to make it up to them soon. She then drives to the location Morgan provided. After some time, they arrive, and he points out where the body is buried. As Morgan sits back and smokes, Lauren begins to dig. Her worst fears are confirmed when she uncovers a human skull, proving that Morgan was telling the truth. Unable to process it fully, she reburies the skull and returns Morgan to the bunker. She asks him to put the collar back on, but he begs her not to betray him. Morgan argues that, as an honest lawyer, she should not be as cruel as her father. He shares his pain, mentioning that he couldn't even attend his mother's funeral. He pleads for his freedom, promising to disappear from their lives without causing harm. Despite his heartfelt plea, Lauren apologizes and walks away with tears in her eyes. The next day, Lauren visits her brother William's office and asks for advice, pretending it's for a court case. She asks what he would do if someone knew all his secrets and posed a threat. William replies that he would either dump the body in a river or hire hitmen to make the person disappear. After some contemplation, Lauren goes to the bunker with a bag and makes Morgan promise he will vanish forever. He assures her that after being in this hell longer than she has been alive, he will never look back once released. Lauren agrees and tells him to clean up, saying he will be freed tonight. She then goes to Harold and requests $1 million and a jet to help someone her father had wronged. When Harold asks why, she refuses to explain. In the next scene, as Morgan is about to leave, Lauren asks if her father ever mentioned anything about her. He tells her that Archer was proud of her, but disliked her defying his friends. Morgan then reveals another secret about William, who bribed union representatives.
At least you didn't have to pay off the unions for support.
That's a smear campaign. My brother didn't do that.
I'm sure Jeffrey Schultz would disagree.
Shocked, Lauren confronts William immediately, but he argues that bribing is necessary to secure higher positions. He also claims their father bribed people to get her appointed as a district attorney. Unable to tolerate this, Lauren slaps William and storms off, warning him never to lie to her again. Finally, Morgan exits the bunker, taking a chess piece as a memento. As he steps outside, he breathes in the fresh air, feeling liberated. Lauren drives Morgan to the private jet, where Harold provides him with new ID cards and informs him about the funds in his account. Harold and Morgan board the jet, while Lauren returns to the bunker to clean it. While doing so, she finds a vial of poison under the bed, but does not react, believing the ordeal is over. Meanwhile, Emilio finds Morgan's file and delivers it to Lauren's home. In the next scene, Catherine comes home and unwraps Lauren's package. Just then, Lauren walks in and asks why she is looking at her work. Instead of answering, her mother fearfully asks why she has a picture of Carson.
Why are you asking about Morgan?
Morgan.
Lauren insists his name is Morgan and reveals that her father had kept him in the bunker for years. Catherine then discloses that Morgan is a cold-hearted serial killer.
This man is evil. He's pure evil.
She asks where he is, and Lauren admits she let him go. Panicked, Lauren rushes to the airport, only to find Harold and the pilot dead. Realizing Morgan is after her mother, she quickly heads back home, but finds Catherine missing. A few moments later, Lauren notices the bunker's door is open, so she goes inside and finds her mother unconscious. While checking on Catherine, Morgan appears from behind and turns off the light. He attacks Lauren, knocking her out and tying her up. When she wakes up, he confesses to poisoning her father. He also reveals the truth about the past. Morgan recounts the night he drugged Catherine and raped her. Archer came to help his wife and drove Morgan to the bunker. But on the way, Morgan distracted Archer, causing them to collide with a pedestrian. Morgan buried the body despite Archer's protests. When Morgan tried to blame Archer, Archer knocked him out and dragged him to the bunker, where Morgan was brutally assaulted. Lauren tries to reason with Morgan, offering to help him get justice for what her family did to him. However, Morgan refuses, insisting he wants them to suffer as he did for 30 years. He reveals his plan to target the rest of their family and ruin their legacy with the secrets he knows. At this point, Catherine awakens and tells Morgan she should have killed him herself, which prompts him to slap her. Seeing this, Lauren changes her approach and calls him a pathetic lunatic, enraging him. He assaults her, throwing her against the walls. He then reveals that he is her biological father, shocking her.
You still don't get it, do ya? I'm your goddamn father!
At that moment, Catherine grabs a gun and shoots him in the back of the head. The film concludes with Lauren and Catherine dousing the bunker in gasoline, setting it on fire, and watching it burn.